it's wash day. I'm going to be doing another one of my discontinued products only wash days. And this one is really, really tough, you guys. There are some like greatest of all time curly hair products in this video that I am just, when I get to the last drop of each of these, I might actually cry because they're so, so good. They're amazing. So this video is going to be a nitty gritty. This is also 9-day hair. So the tangles are tangling big time. So we are starting off with my Suave Everlasting Sunshine. I love this so much. One of my lovely subscribers sent these to me. So thank you so much if you're watching. I am just using it for the first time because I wanted to save these for a special occasion. She sent me 2 of them. So I am splitting my hair down the middle and already it hurts. Tender-headed problems. So I am using a huge amount of product. As you can see, it is super, super runny. I usually always drop this product. It smells so good. It has like a vanilla kind of floral fragrance. It is amazing and it lingers, smells so, so good. But even with the best products, detangling, as I mentioned, tender-headed for life, it hurts. So you guys are going to see a lot of genuine, this is not pleasant facial expressions in this video, like this lovely one right here. So in addition to going into all the different products for wash day, I'm also going to be giving, oh yeah, this is when I dropped a lot of it on the carpet and I was like, dang, that didn't even last 3 minutes without happening. But I'm also going to be doing a deep dive into the current state of my damaged curls, let you guys know how things are going, and you'll be able to really see it, because when we get to the blow drying portion of this video, strap in, you guys, because that takes forever. So that's when we're going to kind of get into that, and you'll also be able to really see the progress that I've made in the almost 6 months since I got this damage. But I like to add layers of product to let my hair slowly start to absorb it, because if I just put a ton of product on the get-go, it really will just run off my hair. So I like to just apply layers of product, let things marinate under a shower cap for maybe an hour, and then it's time to actually detangle. So usually I use about half the bottle of my Suave Everlasting Sunshine, but I am trying to be conservative because I know that this product is discontinued, but I am going to regret this a little bit. As you can see, I end up adding more product in the shower, which is something that I usually don't do. I'm usually super, super heavy-handed when I'm applying my detangling products especially, but this time I didn't do it because I'm trying to treasure this stuff. But as you can see, things kind of don't go the way that I planned in general for how my hair kind of turned out. So one of the main things that I ran into an issue with is that it was so cold in my house. My hair was seizing up, you guys. It was starting to reject the product and it was really, really hard. Like, not the process just being hard, my hair felt hard. So that's a whole different can of worms because my apartment sucks and I need a new heating system. But I needed to be moist and warm when I am doing my hair. If I can't be moist, at least warm, and it's cold outside, there's a lot going on. So that was one of the first issues I ran into. But once I finger detangle, I move on to my bootleg unbrushed to do the bulk of my detangling. This is one of the biggest changes in my curly hair routine in the past few, like a decade actually. I've been pretty much exclusively finger detangling, but that wasn't just cutting it anymore. So now I do a finger detangle, then go in with a hair tool type of method for my detangling, and it has been such an awesome change. I can notice a decrease in tangles, not by a ton, but a good amount. My styles turn out better. My detangling in general takes a lot less time, and I feel like I'm able to remove more of them and remove more shed hair. So overall, love it, love it. I can't see myself going back to exclusively finger detangling, but who knows in the future. I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth since I went back natural, so we'll see. But as of right now, I am loving this routine and it seems to be doing really well for my hair. So once that section is all done, I am regretting my choice not to use my African Pride Prepoo because I was trying to be very strict with the only discontinued products thing. But y'all, if I do this, well, not if, I'm definitely going to make this a series. So for the next one, I'm just going to be using that, you guys, because this is the first detangling session where I have not used the African Pride Prepoo, and I could tell a huge difference. It really helps me with the whole slip and detangling process. So that's going to be my one, like, I can't let this one go for the discontinued wash day videos. It helps so much. And I definitely did struggle a little bit, even though love the Suave Everlasting Sunshine, one of my favorite products of all time. But I was able to see today on wash day that it made a huge difference not using it. And I will definitely be busting it out for the next one. So here are all my sections all detangled, ready to go for shampooing. I made sure to really saturate my hair, and this is everything all rinsed out before actually going in with the cleanser. I like to make sure that the Prepoo gets on all my hair because it helps to kind of rehydrate things before I strip it all over again, but just not too much. It's balanced. So, speaking of which, I'm using the Elosense Moisture Benefits Shampoo. This is an amazing shampoo. So happy that I have a big old thing of it so that I'm going to have this with me still for quite a while. It smells like peaches. It is a silky, almost serumy type of consistency product. And I was incredibly sad when Elosense stopped making products because those products have been with me since like 2005, 2006 when I first went natural. So when they ceased operations, I was not a happy camper because this is one of the best shampoos I've ever used. As you can see, the lather is just super silky, satiny. It almost has a detangling quality and it lathers so well. This is incredibly concentrated. It feels like it's able to deeply cleanse without removing too much moisture from my hair. Although this is a shampoo that's focused mostly on moisture, it gets all the dirt, all the oils, all the butters, all the goodness out of my hair. It's awesome. And as I said, you don't need a lot. Look at all those bubbles. I take the excess and actually put it on my roots just to make sure I'm covering all my surface area of hair with shampoo. And I barely use any product, so it lasts forever. It does not retangle my hair, as I mentioned, so it's one of the best features of a shampoo, in my opinion, for me. Because you don't want to go through all that hassle and work of detangling just for your shampoo to undo it all. So once I'm done with one side, I twist it up and then move on to the other. That silky, satiny lather is just so nice. That serum consistency comes through even in the lather itself. It's so easy to apply to my roots and my hair, making sure again to get all sections. Then it's time to rinse out to prepare things for my deep conditioner. And this one was not a favorite. This was actually my first time trying the deep conditioner I'm going to be using today. And it was yeah, we'll talk. This rinse is so clean, just leaves almost like sparkly clean hair. It's so weird when I see this. It almost looks like glitter in my hair, but it's just like super hydrated. Those little water droplets dancing on my curls. I love it. The shampoo is so good. Nice and happy clean scalp. So moving on to the Carol's Daughter Rasul Clay Softening Hair Mask. I used the rinse out from this line and I loved it. And it was so cool because it was my first Carol's Daughter product that I actually loved. I've tried so many and it's been really so, but the rinse out from this line was amazing. So I figured that I was going to love the deep conditioner. So when I saw it at Sally Beauty, I picked it up. And then of course, after I find something from Carol's Daughter that I absolutely enjoy, it's discontinued. So this was very thick on my hair. I tend to like products that are a slight bit of runniness in there, but this bad boy, once I applied it to my hair, it wasn't moving. So I was really having to work it into my strands, which is something that I have to do with a lot of products. But for this one, I found myself working a little bit harder than usual when it comes to a deep conditioner. I did like the smoothing that it gave me with the extra weight that it had, but it definitely wasn't something that was easily moving through my sections. I had to really apply it and then go in and add layers and layers of product to really ensure that things were evenly coated. And my hair doesn't show when it's super wet, but in this clip, it is like wet to damp. It's very high water content in there. And even with that, this was a little tricky to work into my strands. It smelled really good though. It was a very unique scent that's the same in the rinse out. So I was happy about that. This is a very unique deep conditioner as well because it does have Rasul clay in there. So I always like when I have deep conditioners that have clays. I find that they moisturize my hair very nicely. They help to decrease frizz. They give me a little bit of extra detoxing after cleansing, and they just work really nicely, something you wouldn't expect to see in most deep conditioners. There's definitely a pattern in how I apply products. As you'll notice from every step in my wash day, pretty much, I like to apply a nice amount before adding another layer because I want to make sure that my hair is super saturated. And it takes a while for me to get to that point, as I mentioned during the Prepoo section, and I don't want to miss any strands. And that's incredibly important during deep conditioning, especially since I am trying to get my curls back nice and healthy and grow them out at the same time because realistically, as you'll see later on in the video with the type of damage that I have, I'm going to have to kind of cut the damage out, but I want to improve the look of the curls that I have currently during that process so I can actually enjoy my hair and have fun with different styles. So deep conditioning, applying the layers of products, gels, shampoos, prepoos, you name it, really has made a huge difference in not missing any hair that can kind of get lost in the sauce. Conditioner is applied, I put a shower cap on and I decided to use my hot head heating cap since this is a thicker deep conditioner just to use that gentle heat to open up my strands to receive the product a bit better, help it get in there a little bit deeper. And as you can see, it made a really big difference. It pretty much absorbed almost completely into my hair. There's some sections, especially the crown, where I really got the product on there that you can kind of still see, but for the most part, it really got in there. So this is the product all rinsed out. My curls look juicy, happy, and healthy and honestly turned out a lot better than I expected with this deep conditioner. I didn't know what to expect with that stuff. So my leave-in Chef's Kiss, still best I've ever used, the Shea Moisture Superfruit leave-in. My gel, this one is so sad. This is the Genidor Beauty Smooth and Defined Moisturizing Gel Styler. Both of these are top tier products that if they were still being made, I'd be using for the rest of my life. Love them both so much. If you've been a longtime viewer on my channel, you know that when I found out that Superfruit was being discontinued, I got like 50 something boxes from Walgreens and I'm still working on that same box, you guys. I'm starting to get to like the halfway point of the bottles. So I still have a lot to play around with for the next few years, but this is one, y'all. We might have to have a live stream when I use that last bottle. It's going to be some tears on the internet because this leave-in conditioner is amazing. It has never done me wrong. If my hair like it is now is not at its best, it has always helped give me so much moisture. And this gel from Genidor Beauty is just a work of art. It's so incredibly slippery. Like the slip is every time I use it, it just shocks me. I add a layer of product just to help me further detangle and smooth and prep my hair before actually going in with more product to define my curls and actually give me some nice hold that I'm going to be looking forward to when it dries because it's an extra way for me to detangle. It's so good. It gives me incredible shine. It's one of the most smoothing products I've ever used. It's amazing, and I've definitely been rationing this since I found out that Genidor Beauty was essentially no longer around. Y'all, I even emailed the company's owner like, "Hi, are you coming back?" So, very sad news. So, I am planning for this to be a kind of special occasion gel for me, maybe special projects that I have for my channel this year. I have a 6 months video that I'm going to be working on that you guys will find out all about in June, but this wash day is kind of the start of that. Wink, wink, hint, hint. So once I get the product on my hair adequately, I move on to the next section. And as you will see, I'm using a good amount of product, you guys, but if you ask my crown about that later, you'll feel otherwise because it looks crazy. But y'all, the slip on this, the shine, the softness, Genidor Beauty, just I hope they come back one day. So I start to individually define certain curls. I kind of just follow the lead of my hair. If it naturally separates, then I take that as my cue to define it. It'll look really good when the hair is actually dry. I like the kind of natural look of my wash and goes to kind of just follow the lead of the different sections and textures that I have going on. And defining those individual curls makes a difference. That little thing, oh, I was gonna say that little thing on my arm, you guys, I tried to get it off throughout the video and I didn't want to use my hands because my hands are so sticky from this product. I tried to blow it off, all that, it didn't work. So this is the section that I haven't applied gel to, and even with just that leave-in from Shea Moisture, y'all saw how shiny it was. It's so good. Great prep for any gel that I use it with. And this is my other section all done. I like to add one last layer of gel to the canopy of my hair as well as just the overall section on the perimeter and then moving on to this side. but that last coating of gel just kind of seals things in. And since that's the section of my hair, the top that's getting the most wind, the most weather, all that stuff, I like to just add a little bit more gel for frizz protection. But y'all, the shine is crazy. Like, this gel gives me some of the best shiny curls ever. Everything about it is so good. I like to define these little curls too after I clip things up because I hate the feeling of hair on my neck with product while it's drying. So I kind of clip things up for a couple hours. And because I'm wearing a wash and go, I didn't want to go to bed with my hair wet. So I just wanted to give me a little extra time to air dry. So after 2 hours, I use my blow dryer. I usually use the concentrator, but not today, y'all. Not today. I needed it to dry fast and it was still so wet. And as you'll see, we're going on a journey during this blow drying session, y'all. It took forever. I was so over it by the end, but I like to, as I mentioned to you guys, the realistic wash days that I have. Like, editing could make it seem like it was so quick, but y'all, even with all these cuts, it still took me like a good hour and a half. So over it. So you'll see these little faces don't look the same. We have the majority of my drying time looks like this because I'm just so over it, y'all. So over it. But it has been about 6 months since my hair was damaged, doing a little check in here to see where we are with drying and realizing that it is still almost completely damp and slowly losing hope because I think around this time it was 2 in the morning. So I was like, I'm not going to bed for a while. But as far as the damage of my hair, this is only my second wash and go. Oh, yeah, this is another thing I do that I don't think I've shown you guys in a video. I literally just swing my hair around to air dry it this way, get some motion in there because my hair holds on to water like nobody's business. If I just left it to air dry this time of year, it would probably take me a good 2, 3 days for it to dry. And we're not doing that. We're not trying to get high growth fatigue. So I like to do this. It makes a really big difference. I do it off and on throughout the drying process just to get in those curls that the blow dryer just can't reach as easily, and it makes a big difference. But only my second wash and go since I had my damage 6 months ago. And already I can see a huge difference in the curls that I have. You can see my roots have grown out and they're my natural, puffier, coarser hair texture. And I'm very happy to see them return. Y'all, the frizz was unreal. I'm like, I used all that product. What are we doing right now? But this is the way that I normally blow dry. I kind of use a concentrator nozzle if I have the time and the energy, but usually I just use it all over my head. I find it gives me more volume and it helps it dry quicker. But something about this day, probably the cold, my hair was not having it. The frizz was just doing a lot. So with this wash and go, you can really see the progress that my hair has made with growing things out and helping to reinforce the curls that I do still have because I would say that my hair was damaged like 90% of its length. The only reason that my roots were healthy after I took out my protective style was because it was new growth. Anything that I'd done to it prior in the protective style was kind of a done deal. So if you guys remember where I started at last July, taking those twists out and where I am now, my curls are so much more defined. I do feel like I'm just gonna have to grow out this damage though, because as you can see, it's a big difference. But the goal here is just blending the two textures while I slowly, but hopefully not that slowly, because I'm doing some things to try to speed things up a bit. But while I slowly grow out my roots and trim off the damaged hair, it's a journey. Things happen. This is me realizing that I have balsamic vinegar all over my lips from my pizza, and I did not notice it until right here. But things are coming along nicely. I've been taking some things internally to help with hair growth. I've also been using my Innate Life rosemary oil treatment, which it's early days on that, you guys. I just started that this January, but we're going to dive all into that come June. I am doing a 6 month healthy hair challenge journey type of documentation situation, and I just started filming for that. So that will be coming out in June because I didn't want to put pressure on myself to do like a monthly thing. So I think 6 months will be able to give me some tangible, like, let's see what we're working with. when it comes to drying my hair, I like to just flip it all around, get, as I mentioned, those underside curls that like to just stay super, super damp, because although my hair is damaged, it is still pretty thick, so it takes a lot for my hair to dry. The blow dryer is basically inside my hair at this point. And I didn't want to use a diffuser because my hair tangles already so easily that scrunching motion constantly gives me a bit more tangles than I want. So I just do this kind of all over my head blow dryer situation, and I do not use any heat during my drying process usually. I have the speed up very high to get me a lot of wind and motion in there, but I have the temperature on cold. So again, trying to get these curls back nice and healthy. Don't want to add to any type of damage. So there is no heat being used during this drying session. So yes, it takes a bit longer, but I will do whatever I need to preserve, keep these curls happy and healthy. So I'm miserable, but I want the curls not to be. Detangling is not fun, but another thing I also don't enjoy is blow drying, y'all. It just takes forever for my hair to dry in the way that I like to do it to keep things nice and healthy. And I really contemplated just going to bed with it still super damp, but I knew the end result would not look good. And I'm so glad that I just persevered and dried it, because even with all this, as y'all will see, this doesn't turn out the way that I thought it would. So I can't even imagine what the final result would have been like if I just went to bed with my hair like 50% damp. It would have been just, the frizz would have just overtaken everything, because at this point, I thought it was still going to turn out kind of cute, but when I finish, you can kind of see that I'm like, oh, I did all this and it's not even cute. So I am definitely learning that there is a curve to this whole half damage, well, more than half damage to this whole growing out damaged hair situation. Certain products, certain parts of my hair need different amounts now than the damaged parts, like my roots, for example. Look at those happy, healthy, super curly roots. I was getting so excited seeing this. But yeah, I definitely needed more product here. I was good on the length of my hair, but definitely the crown, I needed a butter, an oil, more gel, something. There was definitely something missing. So next time that I do one of these wash days, I will make sure to incorporate one of my little discontinued oils or butters, especially on that crown area that I'm trying to really nurture. But this is everything all dry. Finally, I have a good amount of frizz. I think actually I could have used more product even on the length of my hair, because this product usually gives me some of the crispiest, no frizz curls ever. But then again, it just might be the nature of the game with the damage that I have right now. But overall, I was just happy to be done with blow drying. All my wash days now pretty much are doing what I'm doing right now, kind of checking in, seeing how the damage is growing out, because when it's in its natural state like this, with it not being wet, I can really see how things are growing and progressing. So it's finally time to go to bed. Got things all wrapped and covered up. This is the next day. Not as much volume, but that's to be expected since my density was lost during the damage, so growing out the thickness too. But overall, I kind of liked it at this point, but I didn't love it for sure. A lot of spider web frizz going on. You guys know I like to tell you about the good hair days and the bad hair days, and I think this one is a little bit of a dud, partially because of the styling and doing things while it was so cold in my house really just like kept my cuticles closed and they couldn't receive the product as well. Plus, I think that with the hair damage I have, I'm a bit limited right now with the type of gels I can successfully use for a wash and go. You guys are probably gonna see this video before you see my super in-depth review of the Do Be Girl Honey Curl Custard, but I've talked about that one a lot in the past month or so because I had a really great wash and go with it even before getting into the actual review. But because I have the thicker roots coming in with the thinner damaged curls, it just looks weird in a wash and go with this gel, which I absolutely love, but as you can see We've got like some weird stuff happening with this one. I think this is only day 2 hair and it already has ended up in a bun. Like, it looks alright right now, but just, I wasn't feeling it, you guys. I wasn't into it. It will be going right back up into the bun after this. I think I'll be able to use this gel for twist outs in the meantime while I'm growing out my hair, and then when it's back to being majority healthy versus majority still damaged, then I think we'll be working with something. Oh. Smokey says hi. I'm so happy he's home. Tell everyone bye. Say bye-bye. Plot twist, this is day 7 or 8 hair, and I just wanted to show you guys, I ended up loving the end of this wash and go so much more in the beginning, and funnily enough, I wore this in a bun the majority of those days, but I did my rosemary scalp oil treatment the day before I took the bun down, and when I did, this is what I was left with. So much more volume, still got some frizz going on, but the elongation is still there. It looked so good. So I just want to give you guys an update. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.